Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In my previous video you have seen how you can write your multiple plays inside a single playbook. So let me open the file which I have created for you previously. In this web server -playbook.yaml we have two plays. One is called this install and configure the Apache HTTPD server. This is the first play which is going to be run on my intranet web server, and second play is this which is going to test the web server once the web server or the first play has been configured or ran on this particular group. This is actually going to execute a curl command on this particular server, and getting the status code is 200 if all okay. So this way you can mention your multiple plays inside the single playbook, but there is no variables in this playbook. So I haven't used any variable to make this playbook as a parameterize, or to make it like generic or something. So how you can use the variables inside the Ansible? So let's have a look. So Ansible support variables that can be used to store values that can be reused throughout the files in an entire Ansible project. This can help simplify creation and maintenance of the project as well as reduce the errors. Variables provide a convenient way to manage the dynamic values for a given environment in your Ansible project. For example, like you want to create some users but don't want to hard code the user value, so you can get the user value from the variable. Packages to install, like for example in this particular playbook we have hard coded our package name is called HTTPD. Here the service name is also hard coded HTTPD. Here also which service you want to open through the firewall is also hard coded. So you can make it like variable things here in this particular playbook. Variables have names which consist of a string that must start with a letter and can only contains letters, numbers and underscores. Remember that. Here is the type of the variables, like you can write the web server, so there should not be any space between these two words. So it could be like web underscore server. Remember that hyphen or dash is not allowed here. Then if you want to like put the web variable name is like remote file, so it should not be dot, it will be underscore. So dot is not a valid character to use inside the variable. Your variable name cannot be start from the digit or number. Your variable can consist or contain the number or digit, but it should not be start from that number. So you can have like file underscore 1 or file 1, but you cannot have one file or like this. It cannot be start like that. You cannot also use the dollar symbol or hash sign inside your variable string, because this is not a valid. If you want, you can use the underscore. So first thing you need to remember that your variable name should start from a letter, can contain numbers and underscore also. So these are the like invalid variables, and these are the valid variables example. Variable can be defined in a variety of the places in an Ansible. So you have to understand this, how you can define the variables and like which location you can define the variables as well. So there are three scope. First is called global scope. So variables set from the command line or Ansible configuration always will be a global scope. Then we have the play scope, means variable are set in the playbook will be a play scope. And when the variable set on the host group or individual host, we are talking about the inventory files. So if the variable is set it there, it means they are the host scope. So there are three places where you can set the variable. If the same variable name is defined at more than one level, for example, you have defined or you have set it this variable, for example, package underscore name is suppose httpd in your inventory file, right, for a group. This will be used for all the group which is available inside that particular inventory. So for example, in my case, I have this. If I assign a variable to the intranet underscore web server, it means the number of server which is the part of this particular group, that variable will apply on those servers. This is the group variables, or I can say the host group variables. Suppose you have your group variable as well as you have the host variable. So if this is the particular variable is set for the group, for example, intranet underscore web server, so all the server will have this variable name, and in this particular group you have a machine or the host which is called server1.example.com. if I have set it the same variable pkg underscore name but with a different value, so the system, like for example here, if you have multiple like servers here, this is my 2, this is 3rd, this is 4th, this is 5th. So all these 5th server will have the value this, only server 1, this one will have the value this. Okay, so group variables are overwritten by the host variables. Then we have a playbook. Inside the playbook you have defined the variable. In playbook you have defined the variable name pkg underscore name. Suppose this is screen, this is the another, you know, the package or the different value of the variable. So now all the group as well as the host will have this value while executing the playbook. So host vars or, you know, group vars will be overridden by the playbook. So this is called play scope. While running the playbook, if you have mentioned like this Ansible dash playbook and your playbook name, for example, intranet dash web server dash playbook dot yaml, so this particular variable from the playbook will be used. And if you have used like this pkg underscore name equal to another name, so now this will also override by the global scope. So this is the global scope, right? So I believe this is the particular explanation is clear to you. Let's see this one in action. So this is defining variables in playbook. So before defining variables in playbook, I would like to give you the example here. So now let's see how many like servers I have in my inventory. Only one server, which is called server1.example.com. okay, and previously created the playbook. This is the playbook, right? There is none of the variable mentioned. Okay, now let's see. I would like to define a group var first, okay, in the inventory. So what you can do, let's open the inventory file. So here this is the inventory, and I would like to define the variable. So for the individual servers, you can define the variable name here directly, like pkg underscore name equal to something. If you want to define the variable on a group level, what you can do, you can put here. So here you can do like this. Now I would like to set the variable only for this intranet underscore web server or for everyone. It depends on you on which group you want to set. For example, I would like to set here this one. So if I use colon vars, so this is the way you can define the variable for a group. Okay. Now for example, pkg underscore name equal to httpd. This is the way to define the variable here, okay, inside the inventory. If you assign the value on this one, like here vars and this, it means this particular variable will be available for myself as well as the intranet web server. It means for this server as well as this one. Okay, so I'm just setting this variable for everyone, so I'm just deleting from here. For example, it depends on you. You can set up for the intranet underscore web server or for everyone. Okay, so this is the way to define the variable on a group level. Save and quit. Okay, now let me copy this web server playbook configuration file, or let me create another one. vim web server playbook with group dash vars.yaml. Here 3 dashes, then first play, it is called install httpd, install and configure httpd with group vars. Then hosts, it will be, I can choose here, for example, intranet underscore web server. Then tasks. So in this task, I am just using name install. I'm not putting the hardcode value here. I'm calling that variable name. So this is pkg underscore name, installing this. So whatever the value of this particular variable will print here also, package. Then I'm calling, the module is called yum name. Here you need to call like this in double quotes. Remember that if you are calling the variable name inside the name, so it will be without any double quotes, but if you are calling the variable name in the module, it will be in double quotes. And then state, suppose present, right? Save and quit. Now let me check this playbook is syntax is okay or not. Yeah, let me run. Why is saying the screen? Oh, I think I have. Oh, okay, let me delete group vars as well as the host vars. These are the two files. I believe these has been created previously. Let me also delete my vars. There is nothing now. So if I run this playbook again, what is saying? Installing httpd. So this is for the group level. Okay, let me override this one. Okay, so how you will override this one? If you use the variable name inside your inventory here, package underscore name equal to, suppose, vsft pd. And if I apply this one now, see what is saying, installing vsftpd. So if you have set it your variable on a group level, so that will be applied to all of the servers which is the part of that group. And if you have also specified the same variable name for an individual, you can see the host, this is going to be set for the host level. So you can see here I am also assigning the server2.example.com. let's see, one variable is set for the group level, on the group level, and one variable, or the same variable is set it for the individual host. So let's see which package is going to be installed on the server 1 and which package is going to be installed on server 2. So let's see, server 1, server 2. You can see here on server 1 it is installing vsftpd. That's true, because on the server 1 inventory file we have mentioned this one. And let's see what you will have on server 2. So it's installing. Okay, now so install vsftpd. Here you have this one, gathering facts. Okay, and now vsftpd, this is the package which is installing by this one. Okay, it's set it for the everyone. So let me call, just wait, actually I'm not calling the everyone there, I'm calling this particular value. Let's see now. So vsftpd, the package is installing on server 2 and server 1. And what we have here in package name is vsftpd, and here we have the package name is httpd. I think is not displaying something, so let me check it here. SSH root at server 2 rpm minus qa httpd. Yes, vsftpd is not installed. Yeah, so let me remove rpm minus e httpd from here, and let me remove also, you can see here there is no vsftpd, there is no httpd. Okay, let me go out and access the server 1 and check it, rpm minus qa httpd, it is installed, and vsftpd, yeah, both are installed. So let me removed, vsftpd, removed. So there is no httpd and there is no vsftpd. Now let's verify again. So let's see what you have here on this particular group. You have set it up pkg underscore name is httpd, but for this particular individual server you have set it pkg underscore name is vsftpd. So on server 1 it should install the vsftpd, but on server 2 it should install httpd. So let's run this playbook. So it displaying here the vsftpd is installing. So let's check it here, rpm -qa httpd. No, check it, vsftpd, yes, and let me also ssh. Check it, rpm -qa httpd, yes, but vsftpd, no. So it's working fine, right? So this is the first way which you can use your variables inside your inventory, but this is not the recommended way, because as of now I have small servers, that's okay, or few servers in my inventory list, but tomorrow or in the future my inventory file size could be more, so it will be very complex to manage. So what we do, let me go to my inventory file. I'm not going to set up here anything, and also this. Okay, now let me create here the directory. So if you create a directory mkdir group underscore vars, remember that in the location from where you are going to run the Ansible playbook command. So group underscore vars, and inside this particular directory, if you create a file with the same group name like this here, so let me copy create a file in my group underscore vars, and this is the particular name, and here you can mention pkg underscore name. Okay, so here you can use your group name as a file and your variable name. So this is called this one, I believe here I mentioned here this one. So this is the inventory. So you have here data center 1 and data center 2. So in my case I have the intranet underscore web server. So in this particular location, create group underscore vars and a file. Okay, this is the particular file should match to your group name in the inventory, and just mention the variable name here. So it is just like httpd, right? httpd. I am saving this variable. Okay, let me remove from here. So rpm -e httpd, sorry, oops, here is the vsftpd, and here is httpd. So if I check it, httpd is installed here or not? No. And here also no. Okay, so in my inventory file there is nothing, but in my group underscore vars I have mentioned the group name as a file, and here I mention this is the particular name to httpd, and I have called this name in my inventory file here, playbook file here. This is okay. Let's see. Yeah, Ansible -playbook, and this is the playbook file. So which package is going to install on both of the servers? So it's saying installing httpd. Okay, let's see here. Yes, and here also yes. Okay, let's override this particular file for server 2, not for the server 1. Okay, so this is the group variable. If you create a directory here, mkdir host underscore vars, this, so this is the directory you have created, and inside this directory try to read your file. So this is my inventory file and server name. So in this particular file, hostwares, create this file. The file name should match to your server name which you have inside your inventory list. It could be IP address also. And here you mention pkg underscore name to vsft pd. Okay, save and quit. And let's see which one is going to install here. So I removed the httpd and I have removed the httpd from here, and there is no httpd and there is no vsft pd. Here also there is no httpd and there is no vsft pd. So as per my configuration as of now, my server 2 will have the vsft pd, but my server 1 will have the httpd, right? Because in my groupware here I defined the httpd, but in my hostware I define server 2 and vsftpd. So let's run this one. This. Done. Let's check. On server 1, rpm-qa httpd, it should have this one. Yes. Let's check. vsftpd, no. Here rpm-qa vsftpd, yes, and httpd, no, right? This. Now if you define the same variable inside the playbook, so this is the host scope. Now if you define the same variable name inside the playbook, so this playbook I am going to call, if I use this playbook, and here if I define like here where's, and variable name is suppose pkg underscore name to screen, this is the the variable, sorry, the package name. Okay, and save and quit. Let me check it first here. rpm-qa, do you have the screen software here? Yeah, screen is installed. So let me check another one. Do you have the telnet? Telnet is also there. Do you have the mut? No, there is no mut. Let me remove the screen. So rpm-e screen. Now check it. There is no. And I can do the same here. rpm-e screen. There is no screen on this particular server. Okay. So rpm-qa screen. There is no. Okay. So if I mention the same variable name in the playbook, right? So it is going to override your host specific as well as your group specific. So let's see, Ansible dash playbook, and this particular playbook I am going to run. See, it's saying installing screen software, and both of this server have this particular, see, right? Yeah. So this is called play scope, right? So if you are with me, you can check it here. So host scope could be on group level as well as the individual host. Then we have the playbook scope. So this is going to override the host scope variable. Now if I would like to override the playbook as well, so what you can do while running this particular playbook, you can also use here pkg underscore name is this, for example. So now it is going to override your playbook variables as well. So you can see this is installing MUTT package. right? And this package is going to be installed. So there are three places where you can define the variables: inside the inventory file for the individual group or individual host, or you can create this separate directory for group and host. The directory name will be group underscore vars and host underscore vars. But remember that inside the group underscore vars you have to create a file name with the group, which you can use from your inventory, and in the host underscore var, name of the server which you have inside your inventory. If you have the host name, create a file with the host name. If you have the IP address, create a file with the IP address. Remember that. Okay, then you can override those variables in the playbook, and then you can override the variable further on the global level, means the command line section. So this is the explanation. So if the same variable name is defined at the more than one level, the higher wins. So as you have seen in this demonstration, right? Okay, this is if you are defining the variable inside the playbook, so after the hosts you can define the multiple variable. Let me give you the another example. The same playbook file I'm going to modify further. Package name I'm going to use here, suppose httpd. Service name, so svc underscore name will be my httpd. Then firewall underscore rule for service will be http. So I can use here the multiple tasks. So installing this package, okay, then start and enable. I can call this service, whatever the service is, this. Then I need to call the service module. Then name will be this service I would like to. Then state will be started and enabled is true or yes, you can put whatever, right? Then I would like to create a web page, so create index.html, right? Then copy module I'm calling, and then I'm writing welcome to Apache managed by Ansible. And for the next line, no, this is not the name, it's a content, and here destination will be /var www html index.html. okay, so I have defined three variables here in the playbook, and I'm calling these variables here. So let's see, Ansible dash playbook and this playbook. So on server 1 and server 2 installing this. Okay, now check it, curl http:// server1.example.com, yeah, and server 2.example.com, no root to host. Okay, because we have not mentioned the firewall, so let's create a firewall. You are thinking why I'm able to access from the server 1, because server 1 maybe has been provisioned by me in the another time, and the firewall rule is already added there maybe. So let's see, allow http, allow, I can call this variable service from firewall. So here will be firewall D is the name of the module, then service will be HTTP, not of this one, so I need to call inside this. Then state is enabled, means allow or accept. Immediate means without restarting the firewall D service, yes. And permanent, yes. Save and close, and now rerun this playbook again. Yeah, and let me check. Server 2, yes, and server 1, yes. Okay, so this is the way you can define multiple variables in the playbook. If you want, you can also, like, I don't want all these variables inside my this playbook, so I can have the separate file. So let me create a directory mkdir vars. So this directory could be anything. It doesn't mean should be vars, but it look like you have to, you know, give the naming convention as per the justification why you have created this directory. And inside the vars I can use my web-vars.yaml. It could be YAML or it could be YML, doesn't necessary. You can use any syntax, YAML or YML, and the naming convention can also be different. It depends on you. And here you need to call your variables. So from this particular file I have defined these 3 variables, so I need to copy these 3 variables from here and then delete this section vars, then these 3 variables. That's it. And now go to this file and mention your variables here, right? Okay, now you need to include this particular file in your main playbook here. So after the host you can use here vars_files, and here you can put the path. So this is the way you can call. So now run this particular playbook further. So I have separated my variables from the main playbook to a different file, and I included that particular variable file in my playbook by using this vars_files. Okay, but remember that if you are creating a separate file for the variable, the variable file should be in YAML syntax. Okay, like this. Okay, this is, you can call without the double quotes. You cannot call this one in your modules, but without the 2 double quotes you can call in the name section. That's okay. Host variables and group variables I have demonstrated to you. I believe that one is clear to you. So this one you can see inside your inventory file you can define by name of the group, like here, but you have to use here :vars, means you want to define the variables, and this will be a INI file structure. So there is no YAML, means the variable name : the value, it will be variable name equal to the value. So don't be confused with the INI syntax as well as the YAML syntax. Right, so among the disadvantage of this approach while writing the variables inside the inventory file, it makes the inventory file more difficult to work with and mixes information about the host and variable in the same file and use the absolute syntax. So inside this file it's not recommended. So what you can do, you can create the group underscore wheres and host underscore wheres inside your project directory, and you can mention your variables there. But remember that in your group underscore wheres should have the file name of your group which you are using inside your inventory, and in your host underscore wheres should have a file name with your individual host, and that is defined inside your inventory. Remember that it could be a host name or it could be IP address, but you have to use the exact name which you are calling inside your inventory, right here. So this is the example. Here I have the data center 1, data center 2, and this is the data center. So if I create a file by using the data centers and then I am defining a package name here, it means it will work for data center 1 as well as the data center 2 servers. If I create the individual file for the data center 1 and data center 2, it means the data center 1 will be applicable for this one and data center 2 will be applicable for this one. So this package will be overridden. The same case for the host as well. You can also further modify by using the -e, means environment variable, and you can pass the variable name as well as your value. So this is the global location from where you can override your variable and value. Administrators can capture the output. Okay, I want to see, when I use this command, I want to know what the output of this installing the HTTPD package. I don't know. I want to, get the output, what is doing. So what you can do, inside this particular file, you can store the output. So here I can do register, and I can use here install underscore. This is the name of the variable which I'm declaring here. It could be anything. It could be anything, right? So whatever the things has been done by this particular module to you, that will be stored here, and I would like to get the result of this one. So what you can do, you can define another task here. So I can put here display the output of package installation, and there is a module called debug. You can call that, and you can just use here where equal to and this name, whatever the name you have defined here, right? Save and quit and check it by running this playbook again. See, it's saying here, it's saying while installing this particular package, it's saying is already installed on server 1 and this is already installed on server 2. Let me, for example, let me remove this HTTPD package from the server 1 and let's rerun this one. And what it say? So this way you can use to capture the output of a module and display in the further task. So you can see on the server 1 it was not installed. So you can see here it was installing it and this is completed, but on server 2 it was already installed here, right? So this way you can capture the module. For example, if you want to also see the status of something, you can call this particular register keyword in anywhere, and you can capture the output, and you can use the debug module to display the value of that particular variable. For example, it says this I would like to call only this result. So what you can do, I believe I can call this one dot results. So I believe I can call the individual dot results like this. Let me check it. I should have only this value displayed here. Yes, you can see. So I'm just calling the results. This is my variable name and this is the further keyword inside it. So it will display only this one, you can see here. If you want to check the status code, so you can use here install underscore result dot rc, so it will display the 0 or 1, and based on it you can take the further decision, or you can take the conditions and so on. So this is the further possibilities. So you can store the output of the particular module into a variable, and you can print the output here like this. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, please comment on this video. I will reply to you. If you don't, I will see you in the next session, where we will be learning about the Ansible facts and how you can create your own facts and install those facts on the remote server. So see you in the next session. Thank you.